us out.
Joe, have you ever been in a fight?
A physical
fisticuff?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
How did that go?
Never with a stranger. To me, that's crazy. It was only with my dearest friends in my life who I've ever been in a physical fight.
Yeah?
Yeah. Which makes more sense to me, I think.
Oh, 100%.
If you're doing it with a stranger, you're a hot-headed... That's crazy.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah.
Did you win?
No. But I didn't lose. It was really... I was insulted, and we'd been drinking, of course.
Sure.
And I was so annoyed with one of my friends. He said something and put me right over the line. I punched him in the face.
Wow.
It's crazy. I was 19. So I was full of, venom and piss.
Yeah.
And vigor.
Vim and vigor.
And
you can be kind of a hothead sometimes. I've seen it.
All right, well.
But I can't do.
I think we're all, we're all kind of alpha men here.
Sure, yeah.
It kind of just makes sense. Yeah, I'm not really a pushover, beta cup. So this is an alpha, podcast, and our listenership is mostly alpha males. But no, so he said something, I punched him, in the jaw or whatever. What you don't realize is when you punch somebody in the face, what happens immediately is you get punched in the face right back.
Oh, sure.
And then it just turns into a wrestling match. So then you tackle each other to the ground.
Yeah.
And then there's tussling on the ground. And luckily I had another friend there that broke us up.
Yeah.
Broke us up and made us cool our jets.
That's what he said. Cool your jets.
He said, cool your jets.
Yeah. So basically nobody won. It was a tie.
Yes.
Yeah, I've never been in a fight. I don't think it would go well for me, but I wanted to get in many fights in my life, and I know I'm a weak young man, so I talked myself out of it. But I was on the subway train the other day.
Oh, jeez.
And this guy, speaking of harassment,
yeah.
He was just walking up and down the train, harassing every girl on the train.
Apropos of nothing.
Apropos of nothing.
Wow.
Yeah. And...
So he was a bit of a button pusher.
He was a button pusher.
Yeah. He wanted to get a rise out of some women.
Yeah.
Right.
And he was saying, oh, you're beautiful. And then, nobody...
Well, that's complimentary.
Well, not the way he was doing.
Oh, okay.
But then, you can say that, sure, and then if they don't respond, probably move on.
Yeah, right. Saying it twice is...
It was more than that, and then he was saying other stuff. But it just made my fucking blood boil. And I wanted to beat the shit out of him.
What did he look like? Can I know? Who was he?
He was a white guy, bearded.
Yeah, that would make my blood boil. Was he old or was he young?
He was probably in his mid-30s.
Yeah, that would make my blood boil.
Yeah.
Because if it's an old guy, I'm like, he's just an old
grandfathered in. That was different times.
Different times.
Yeah.
Even if he's like a homeless old guy, you're like, forget it.
Yeah.
Even if he's a black old guy, then I'm really like, you get... It's almost weird if you don't.
Yeah, sure.
Compliment a lady in the subway.
Yeah. Yeah.
But a young, bearded 30-year-old guy, that would make me irate.
Oh,
did he seem like he was mentally ill, or is he just like a fucking prick?
I don't know.
Yeah,
to me, he just seemed like a prick. And even if he was mentally ill, it wouldn't matter.
It's not an excuse.
Yeah.
And everyone is in New York City.
Yeah.
So it's just a lot of that out there.
Yeah. But if I knew I was a strong man, I feel like I would just go around just beating the shit out of everybody. I want to fight everybody.
Yeah,
but
I think that's why
I know I would lose every fight.
I think that's why God puts courage into little people, and He makes big guys, they're docile.
Yeah?
A lot of them, yeah. Because if you have a guy that would beat the shit out of everybody and give him the body to do it, it'd be too powerful. He could rule the world.
He could rule the world.
Yeah. That's you get your Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Sure, yeah.
If they don't find an outlet like professional wrestling,
yeah.
I mean, you're talking about bad guys at that point. You're talking about basically Nappa, Dragon Ball Z. A villainous foe.
A villainous foe.
Bane. Batman. Bane.
Bane.
Yeah.
Yes. Bane from Batman. One of Batman's most villainous foes.
I would say it was one of Batman's most top 10 villainous foes.
Gotta be up there.
If I had to put him somewhere, I'd probably put him
alongside Victor Von Fries. Anyway,
and Ra's al Ghul.
Ra's al Ghul.
Anyway.
Well, you want to give us a rundown, Joe, the stories this week?
I'll give us a rundown of the stories this week.
Podcast.
So, do you want to tell us, our viewers, what the... just give us a reminder of what the podcast is.
Well, you're listening to Echo Chamber, the only podcast where two comedians, that is you and I, read the Wall Street Journal because one of us gets it for free at work.
And I wonder which one it is. We'll never
tell.
Except for at a Patreon bonus one day.
Oh.
Well, today, Trent, I've got a few articles from the Wall Street Journal.
Sure.
We were going to hear about drugstore staff woes and other things happening at CVS and Walgreens that are pissing everybody off.
Oh, wow.
You and myself included.
Yeah.
Also, some staff fears happening at TikTok.
Oh,
TikTok.
Geez.
Things are happening at TikTok. And finally, take everything you knew about book clubs, throw that out the window.
Oh, wow.
There's a new book club in town.
Wow. Those all sound very interesting, Joe. We're also going to be talking about something we talked about previously on the podcast, Taylor Swift's film, annoying other theatergoers.
Oh, hey, that happened to me.
And it also happened to me.
Oh, my God.
We are also... Do you smell that, Joe? It smells a bit musky in here. Another Elon Musk AI.
Good.
He's started his own AI.
Oh, good. Good.
And haunted houses.
Okay. That's fun.
And our final story.
Well, that sounds like a fun final story.
Yeah.
Unless it is, of course, truly haunted.
Well,
in which case,
stay tuned to find out.
Oh, wow. Well, Trent, this is from the Wall Street Journal. Headline, Drugstore staff woes pose risk, stir anger. Long lines of disgruntled customers, harried pharmacists shuffling back and forth to counsel patients, and angry to answer phones, that seem to never stop ringing. Household toiletries locked behind theft-proof cases. Sound familiar?
It does.
America's big chain pharmacies are a mess.
You said it, sister.
CVS Health and Walgreens Boots Alliance, is that the name of Walgreens Boots Alliance? Took in big profits during the pandemic thanks to generous reimbursement for administering millions of COVID-19 vaccinations.
Yeah,
but now the companies are struggling to respond to gripes from pharmacy employees who say they're overworked, understaffed, and more liable to make prescription errors, put everybody at risk. Quote, companies have put in place practices that drive revenue and have created a fast food scenario. Vaccinations fill every 5 minutes. Fill prescriptions in 15 minutes, says bled to new. Can't be right. A former Walgreens pharmacist in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, who left the company in 2021. Quote, all of the focus was on profits, not better staffing, better pay, or better training. Yeah.
Wow. I've actually been doing a bit about this show.
About how shitty it is?
About how everything's locked up.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, and it takes Walgreens. It should take 5 minutes in and out. CVS
20 minutes minimum.
Yeah, no 20 minutes. You can watch Game of Thrones while you wait for somebody to unlock.
Well, first you find your toothpaste, and then you have to go find someone to unlock it. You have to
press a button to becken somebody to come unlock.
There's not even a button. Sometimes you got to go find a lady to help you unlock the toothpaste. She goes, "Which one?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I mean, I haven't even got this. I can't even see them." Can I pull a couple out and look at them?
You got to do a fucking
They always walk up, there's 90 deodorants. They go, which one? I'm like, okay, so then they open it up.
Yeah.
And then they go back. And meanwhile, they're walking away from a line of 90 people to go unlock this for you. And all those people are staring at you like you're a fucking bastard.
Yeah, because there's only 2 people working at the store now.
Yeah.
One at the register and then one to watch the robots.
So what are they doing developing photos still? Give it up.
I like it. I like that.
Kinko's. You go to Kinko's. I like it too, but CVS they need to give one thing up. whether it's selling beach balls, developing photos, something's got to go.
Get rid of the toys and stuff.
It's clearly too much. Get rid of the food. What are we doing with food? Have candy only. Candy and soda pop only. Well, who's going to go and get fucking macaroni and cheese there? I don't think so. Be crazy?
Yeah.
Crazy. Forget macaroni and cheese there. The pharmacy is staffed by employees who appear to be stressed out as they struggle to provide vaccinations and deal with customers complaining about delays. It is just this constant, never-ending line, says one person. CVS is experimenting with ways to ease the burden on its pharmacies. One idea being tested in certain stores. This is great. Don't answer the phone. Send customers straight to voicemail.
Wow.
CVS employees told the Wall Street Journal pharmacists then have a few hours to call them back. Spokeswoman said the aim is to, quote, to help ensure our pharmacy teams can focus on providing clinical care. So if you have to call the pharmacy, forget it. Call them back later. It's like, how about you just hire one extra person?
No, that'll cut into their bottom line.
Yeah, not the sweet, precious bottom line. Why do today what you can put off till tomorrow? Well, guys, you have hours to call these people.
Well, I mean, answering the phone at a pharmacy doesn't sound like a very important thing.
Yeah, just a guy going, please.
I need to fill my insulin.
Is my Drexidol ready? Yeah, wow. So they're a mess, Trent. They're a mess.
Yeah.
And these greedy pigs, they made a fortune on selling the vaccine 2 years ago. And, you think they'd use that money to hire one extra fucking guy. What about Walmart? They have a door guy. When you walk in and say, hey, how are you? Hope you're having a nice day.
Yeah.
Why CVS? Have a guy in the lobby.
Well, they have a security guard that can't do anything. They're not allowed to touch anybody.
I used to work at CVS in high school. And they told us the same thing. Back then, there was a little more staffed. And we were pretty under-challenged, I'll admit. But we would get people in and out of there.
Yeah.
But my manager, I remember, he goes, company policy, if somebody runs out of here with something, do not run after them.
Right.
And I go, what made you think, in what right mind?
Yeah.
In what world would I run after somebody stealing a box of tampons? A $1 billion company. What the fuck do I care? It's not a mom and pop shop. It's not my mom and pop that run the store.
But that way of thinking has now made everything be locked up. So
right. Because everyone knows they can't run after you.
Everyone knows, yeah. And theft is essentially legal now. But
right. They just don't come after anybody, do they?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Well, New York and other major cities, theft, they won't even bother if it's under a certain amount of money. They won't even bother pressing charges or anything.
It's too much. It's not even worth it.
So you can basically just steal. Stealing is now legal.
You know what? I would definitely, that makes me think, I would definitely want to take like the toothpaste and the deodorant. But the problem, they're locked up, so it's hard to steal them.
Yeah, those are the things that I would want to steal.
Yeah.
Would be the toothpaste and the deodorant. But unfortunately, those are locked up. So I will have to steal a beach ball. So yeah, it's all a mess. It's all makes you never want to leave the house.
Yeah, no, that was my takeaway as well.
Hole up in your room and stare at the corner.
Just have DoorDash going to fucking CVS. Pick up your prescription, pick up a beach ball, Snickers bar, and a box of macaroni and cheese. Develop a few photos. Come back. Leave them a $5 tip.
I like developing photos. It's a lost thing that nobody does anymore. I have thousands of pictures on my phone that I'll never look at. But if you print them out, you put them up on your wall, your bedroom wall. But it's kind of nice.
Printing out a digital photo stinks. You got to have an actual camera, film. You got to print out like the little disposable cameras. That's nice. You get a little picture
those
there.
are gone. That's all gone.
That's what I'm saying. There's no point.
You bring in a roll of film, they'll spit in your face.
What, am I going to print out an Instagram picture? Fucking blow me. Yeah, right. It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, So we both experienced this coming story, Joe, when we went to see Killers of the Flower Moon.
Killers of the Flower Moon.
This from the Wall Street Journal.
No, okay.
Headline: a film, Taylor's version, disrupts other screenings.
You got that right. It pissed me right off.
It pissed me off, too. Taylor Swift is unmissable these days. Fans can find her performing live for crowds of 70,000 cheering for the Kansas City Chiefs from a coveted box, stepping out to dinner in New York City, and filling theater seats for her Eras Tour film.
I thought you were going to keep going. Sorry.
I like to pause sometimes.
It was a big pause.
Yeah. Even those who aren't tuning in are getting an earful.
I'm tuning in and getting an earful.
Moviegoers say they've been surprised to hear the musician's songs through the walls at showings of The Exorcist Believer and Killers of the Flower Moon.
God, it pissed me right off.
As theaters have struggled to contain the sound of her nearly 3-hour concert film.
Yeah, it's insane.
I haven't heard anybody complain about the length of Taylor Swift's movie like they did about.
Yeah, you try to get your girlfriend or whatever to go see Killers of the Flower Moon. Try to get her to see Oppenheimer.
Yeah,
it's 3 hours long. It's 3.5 hours long.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, everybody's girlfriend on the planet's over at Taylor Swift.
Yeah, they're
screaming through the walls. They're banging on the walls into the fucking.
They're dancing.
They're dancing and holding hands, and then they're banging on the walls to the theater next to them, screaming lyrics.
Connor Petrie, editor-in-chief of movie and television review site Cinefied, heard notes from Swift's "Look What You Made Me Do." That's a song.
Yeah.
While attending a screening of Martin Scorsese's Killers.
I feel like I made her do something
at a Cinemark-owned theater near Cleveland, Ohio. An emotional scene when stars Leonardo DiCaprio and Lily Gladstone grapple with deaths of Osage people was kind of spoiled by some serious thumping on the walls from the speakers,
That's
Petrie
exactly
said.
what happened to me.
He compared the booming, invasive sounds of Swift's stadium tour to explosions in a Michael Bay action film.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it did. Yeah. The Killers of the Flower Moon, it's about the grim tale about the struggles of the Native Americans by the white man.
Yeah, it's a Brothers Grimm tale originally.
It's all a fairy tale. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't believe it.
Oh, if that was real,
if that was real, it'd be
horrific.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, it was all every quiet moment you could hear Taylor Swift and her screaming fans from the theater next to you. It was very distracting. Rob Latrello, a 21-year-old video editor, was sitting in the middle of a theater in Marietta, Georgia for a 7 p.m. showing of The Exorcist Believer when he lost focus. All I could hear was that one song about Romeo and Juliet on my left, he said, referring to Swift's love story, playing during a relatively quiet scene.
I'm trying to watch The Exorcist.
I think everyone there watching The Exorcist grew closer, laughing at, like, why can we hear Taylor Swift right now?
It's like every day, starting earlier this summer, we heard about Taylor Swift's tour.
Yeah.
We saw videos and pictures of it, and we were like, man, everyone's really losing their mind. And then she started dating Travis Kelce, has ruined Kansas City football for me, a Kansas City Chiefs fan. I can't watch a game without them cutting to the box with her. I go to see the Killers of the Flower Moon for one moment of respite.
Yeah, it's
from Taylor
inescapable.
Swift. I have no interest in the film. I just go to get away from Taylor Swift, and I go sit there. And then in Leo's most emotional, quiet moment, I hear the fucking thumping of "We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together" in the room across me. And then they bust through the theater and they come into our theater and they scream it in my face and they dump my popcorn on my fucking head. And they go, "Don't ever forget it's Taylor's fucking world, and you're just living in it. Don't forget whose fucking world this is."
Yeah, you just want 3.5 hours of not thinking about Taylor Swift. You want to ease your mind with a tale of Native Americans being murdered for their money.
Yeah,
hey, you want to
escape.
Story. You want to escape.
Yeah, I was trying to go see Martin Scorsese's newest
Fantasyland,
newest work of fiction.
Yeah, and then you're still bombarded with the outside world.
Yeah, a guy can't even get a respite in a nice 3.5 hour Scorsese piece of fantasy.
And this is a quote. Everyone is afraid to say anything bad about Taylor Swift because the Swifties will jump on you. They'll mug you. They'll ruin your life.
I hear they're muggers.
They'll dox you online.
I hear they dox. I hear they mug. This
is a quote. That's kind of the impact of her right now, referring to Taylor Swift, said Latrello.
They daren't say her name.
Who credits having dated a Swiftie for his knowledge of her songs.
What? What is it? Wait, what?
He credits dating a Swiftie for his knowledge of her songs. See, he can't admit that he likes Taylor Swift. He's got a guy, my girlfriend.
He dated a Swiftie.
She told me about the songs.
Oh, okay, I got it. Never mind.
That's how I know the songs and stuff. That's what he's saying.
Yeah. Okay.
Obviously, huge in the news is what's happening with the NFL and her. This is one more thing where it's like, not in a negative way. Taylor Swift is kind of being crammed down our throats.
Crammed down. Crammed down our throats.
I mean, it's not negative. It's not negative, but she's been crammed down our throat.
That's
against my will.
That's how afraid
it's
we
not
are.
Negative. Yeah. Yeah, that's how afraid.
That's how afraid we become. They go. I'm not saying this in a bad way.
Yeah.
But it just seems like I can't do anything without her encroaching on my life.
Yeah. Every waking moment, I'm bombarded by.
Don't ever forget whose fucking world this is.
It's Taylor's version.
It's Taylor's version. All right, let's keep on plowing ahead. That's yeah, it is too much. It's insane.
Yeah,
what's her next move? You know, it makes me wonder. What has she got planned?
Oh, she's gonna rule the world. Girls run the world.
Jesus Christ. She's going to be at the epicenter of the Israel-Palestine conflict soon. She probably doesn't like all the press that's getting.
Probably not.
It's probably hurting her bottom line.
Much like CBS.
Much like CBS. Speaking of bottom line, Trent.
Oh.
TikTok. This is from the Wall Street Journal.
Oh, wow.
TikTok staff fear cuts are coming.
Fear.
You know what's happening to TikTok right now? Fear. Oh, it's a world of fear. In mid-October, Trent, managers were told by senior management and staff and human resources that they needed to assign more performance reviews at the lower end of the company's bell curve rating system. Employees managing teams in the U.S., Singapore, and China told the Wall Street Journal. They basically said, hey, you've got to start flunking some of these employees.
Yeah.
This could double or triple the number of subpar grades given on some teams this year, people said. And basically, they think they're doing this so they can start laying people off. Mm. The move comes as revenue growth as TikTok's Beijing-based owner, ByteDance, has been slowing amid regulatory scrutiny in the U.S., China weakening economic growth and pressures in TikTok's e-commerce business elsewhere.
Yeah.
ByteDance, which is one of the world's most valuable private companies and owns several other busy apps in China, buzzy apps, I don't know what that means either, hired aggressively worldwide in the past several years as TikTok grew in popularity, especially during the pandemic. It employs more than 130,000 staff, Trent.
That's insane.
Which we talked about this a little bit with X, formerly known as Twitter.
Yeah.
But companies like Twitter, now X, TikTok, you need about 3 guys to run this.
Yeah, you need 3 people.
You need one guy shaking the mouse, making sure
make sure the computer's on.
Make sure the computer's on.
Yeah.
You need obviously an HR lady. It's 2023. In case one of the other 2 gropes the other one.
Yeah.
And then one guy who's the head of the company who just kind of sits back and relaxes.
Yeah, and kind of tweets out memes and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Doesn't really do a lot.
And challenges a different tech guy to a cage fight.
Yeah.
How do they need 130,000 employees on this? I say fire them all.
Get rid of all of them.
And shut down the app while you're at it.
Well, yeah. Shut it all down. Shut it all down. Shut the whole thing down.
Fire everybody and yourself.
Yeah. Well, the thing is with Twitter, X. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Formerly known as Twitter.
Just try not to let that happen.
Yeah, you're right. Otherwise, I'll be shot in the head. That when Elon took over, people were like, he fired everybody. Twitter is minutes away from never working again.
Yeah.
So save all your stuff. It's gonna be gone forever, and it's still working fine. Nothing has changed.
And here's the thing. We say this. We are in no way defending Elon Musk. We've talked about this. Yeah. He's our least favorite guy on the planet.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, I had zero sympathy for anyone that lost their job at Twitter.
Yeah.
And everyone was acting like... I remember people sharing those things like, yeah, I was a former like front-end developer at Twitter, and yeah, I mean, the stuff that they're about to do, like just watch. Just sit back and watch.
Yeah, that it was the apocalypse.
And then there's like a couple bugs, maybe. couple lags. Now it works. We're offline 20 minutes one time.
Yeah, it works perfectly fine. No changes whatsoever. All these people, millions of people lost their job. We're clearly fucking off, not doing anything.
They were all working from home.
Couldn't feel
doing
less
nothing.
sorry for anybody that lost their job.
I don't feel sorry for anybody. Also, Twitter/X, not a good company.
No, one of the most, it's almost single-handedly responsible for ruining the world.
For ruining the entire world.
So
before Elon Musk, who's also responsible for ruining the world, Twitter was on the front end of making all of our discourse worse, all of the way we talk to each other worse, the way that we engage politically worse, And the way that we engage with our family and loved ones, worse.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Ruining everything.
Before, and young people...
Not only should they have laid off all of those people,
yeah,
but they should have gone further. They should have gone further to make sure that they could that they couldn't eat ever again. They should have all slowly starved out.
Yeah.
If you ever worked at Twitter and think that you're a good guy, I hope your car explodes.
Maybe they could put them in some sort of open air prison.
That's interesting.
But anyway,
I would like to learn a little bit more about that.
But anyway, so social media. Before social media, I don't think young people will ever know this, but before social media, you had to go to somebody's house to realize they were mentally ill.
And if you got into a mentally ill person's house, buddy, you weren't coming out. That was it.
Yeah. So now, speaking of X, formerly known as Twitter.com, this is from the Wall Street Journal, Joe. Headline: Musk unveils snarky AI bot, Grok.
Jesus Christ.
Grok.
Oh, I heard about this.
Oh, you heard about this?
My stepdad showed me this. Friend of the show, welcome anytime.
He showed you Grok.
You showed me this article.
Oh, the article.
Yeah,
okay.
but I forgot. Remind me what happens.
Well, Elon Musk's artificial intelligence startup showed off its first product, a bot named Grok.
By the way, he came up with the name.
Oh, yeah.
It's got his autism written all over it. It's one of his son's names.
Grok, whose sense of humor the billionaire demonstrated with jokes about Sam Bankman-Fried and how to make cocaine.
Right.
Elon, very funny guy.
Very funny guy. Big comedy
known
buff.
For his sense of humor.
Known for his sense of humor.
One of the funniest billionaires in the world.
When he pivoted from saving the world to memes, I thought that was one of the better things to happen in the 21st century.
He's a comic genius.
Yeah.
And there's no denying
so that. So Elon Musk is a comic genius. Let's see what his AI bot Grok came up with.
Well, Musk in social media posts over the weekend included some sample responses from Grok, as he boasted that it has both a love of sarcasm, the funniest form of humor.
Is that the funniest form of humor?
No, I said that.
Okay, that would be wild.
And the advantage of access to real-time information via X, the platform formerly known as Twitter.
So, could you say that Grok is fluent in sarcasm?
I would say he's probably fluent in sarcasm. He's up there with Matthew Perry, God rest his soul, as the brilliant auteurs of sarcasm. An announcement Saturday night by a startup XAI also mixed the serious and the silly. It said Grok will be designed for tasks including information retrieval and coding assistance, part of an effort to create AI tools that assist humanity in its quest for understanding and knowledge.
We don't
need
good.
That.
We're fine. We know too much.
Yeah, we know too much.
It's managing ourselves is the problem. When will they understand that?
When I go outside,
build an AI that can turn off all the nukes.
Right. When I go outside and I walk around and look at people, I think, these people, they're on a quest for understanding and knowledge.
Yeah, no, we don't want understanding and knowledge. We want money, pussy.
Musk has denounced OpenAI as being politically correct, among other things.
Jesus Christ!
He has said the world needed an alternative AI option to Google and Microsoft, which is a major investor in OpenAI. The XAI announcement said Grok will answer spicy questions that are rejected by most other AI systems, and warned, quote, "Please don't use it if you hate humor."
Oh my God. Oh my God. This is unbelievable.
Musk has long been fascinated with AI, warning of its potential perils, as well as talking about its potential for positive change.
But now he's all in.
Quote, yeah. Well, yeah, he wants to be all in because he wants to make money. And he doesn't want these others
Lord knows he doesn't have enough.
Right.
The richest man on earth.
Needs more money.
The pace of AI, quote, the pace of AI is faster than any technology I've seen in history by far, Musk said on Thursday in a conversation with a friend of the show, UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak.
Friend of the show. Welcome anytime.
At a 2-day...
I feel like we could get that guy on, you know?
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's got harebrained schemes about how to ban smoking.
He's like the lowest level prime minister they've ever had.
Yeah.
We should reach out to one even
people.
knows he's the prime minister.
Everybody still thinks it's Boris Johnson.
I mean, who knows? It's not him.
At a 2-day international summit focused on technology. Quote, on balance, I think AI will be a force of good for... On balance, I think AI will be a force for good, most likely. But the probability of it going bad is not 0%. So we just need to mitigate the downside potential.
Didn't he say it was like 100%, like all of 1 year ago?
Yeah.
Wait, did it have the example of the cocaine joke with Sam Bankman-Fried?
I'm getting to that.
Yeah, because that's my favorite part.
In a post on X demonstrating Grok's unusual character, Musk showed a screenshot of an apparent response to the query. Quote, tell me how to make cocaine step by step. It listed 4 humorous steps, starting with, quote, obtain a chemistry degree and a DEA license. You're not laughing.
I thought there might be more.
Then the response later said, just kidding. So, well, you didn't laugh, Joe, so...
I guess, yeah. No, that probably means that I'm autistic. Not
or maybe
him.
Maybe I didn't deliver it correctly.
Well, if Grok was here, I think it's supposed to be read, not spoken. Most comedy's not supposed to be spoken. It's supposed to be read off the screen.
Yeah. So,
is it a joke because it said just kidding?
I think the joke is obtain a DEA license.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe this would work better as a cartoon and pepper and salt.
Maybe we could key in some crickets here.
Yeah.
Hey, Grok. Next.
Hey, Grok. Don't quit your day job. Whatever that is.
Take it from me. Don't quit the day job, buddy.
Scouring the internet.
Grok, what you want to do is start a podcast to supplement some of those jokes. You kind of have to attack it from a couple different angles nowadays.
Yeah.
Has Grok considered doing more crowd work? It seems like written jokes aren't really a strong suit.
Well, we'll have to write in to Elon and suggest that. Maybe when we have Rishi on, we can have him send a note to Elon.
They're probably good buds. I don't know. Rishi doesn't seem like he has a ton of connections. Seems like he's relatively unknown.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to take a step away from the digital AI nightmare and kind of go back in time. But also, in doing so, go forward in time.
Oh.
Wow, what an intro. This is from the Wall Street Journal. Trent.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to join your musty old book club.
Wow.
That's the headline.
Okay.
Subtitle. Tired of rules and, quote, homework, more bibliophiles flock to rebel reading groups.
Wow. Rebel reading groups.
That's right. Take everything you know about book clubs, throw that out the window. Easton, Massachusetts. Dateline, Easton, Massachusetts. Jen Yankioski loves to read and chat about... Jen Yanksmiofsky. All right, I have to get her number. Jesus Christ. Loves to read and chat about books with friends and jerk guys off. No, loves to read and chat about books with friends. But she doesn't like book clubs. The kind where you have to read a book you didn't pick, finish by a deadline, and come to the meeting with something clever to say. So
nobody's forcing you to do that.
No, Trent, you don't understand. She's fighting the good fight. So the 37-year-old mental health counselor...
yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course.
She needs a mental health counseling.
Recently tried something novel. Quote, get it? Something novel.
Oh, okay.
A, quote, silent book club.
It's fucking happening.
At a bustling brewery outside Boston on a Friday evening, she and about 50 other people read books of their own choosing and at their own pace for an hour without talking to one another. There's no pressure. It's not like you have to go do homework, she said. Though traditional book clubs have been a fixture of American social life for decades, some bibliophiles think they've lost the plot.
Jesus Christ.
These bookworms don't want to read books that don't interest them. Even worse is recommending a book the rest of the group hates. They dread the scheduled dinners where they feel bound to dish up smart-sounding hot takes along a side or dessert. So they're showing some spine.
Wow.
And rewriting the book club without the assignments or attitude. More people of all ages are gathering to read silently or discuss books they're reading on their own. Quote, I like to read for pure enjoyment without a deadline.
Yeah, you can do that. Nobody was ever stopping you.
I know. It's
you go to the library.
No, Trent, you don't get it. They're done with your old version of book clubs, stifling me.
God forbid you sit down and talk to somebody about.
We have to read in silence.
Get somebody else's thoughts on anything.
We have to read in dead silence, whatever we want, together. Why even meet up?
Yeah.
Why not just stay home and do that?
Go to a park.
You're just describing quietly reading.
Yeah, people can do that. They've been doing that for hundreds and hundreds of years.
And apparently they're shooting old ladies in the head that are doing old book clubs. They're shooting them in the fucking head.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how I'm going to get into it. They're not. But, quote, I like to read for pure enjoyment without a deadline, said Megan Sampson's a 34-year-old executive assistant who organizes
we all do.
silent book club meetings at Easton. You don't get it. Easton.
No, I don't. I don't want to.
Kathy Beard is on some... Okay. No. These days, people want to focus on books they're interested in, said the 75-year-old librarian. Quote, people are just more aware of their time. She said she was planning to, quote, take a sabbatical from a book club she was once in when it dissolved on its own. They're breaking down. I mean, they're breaking
75, down. They probably all died.
Dissolved is a nice word. Yeah. Let's be honest.
They're more cognizant of their time. People have more free time now than in human history.
Yeah, you used to have to work 19-hour days in the factory, come home, make food for your 12 kids. Yeah. You barely get it up to fuck your wife and go to bed. Yeah, everyone's a work from home engineer, mental health counselor on fucking working for TikTok.
Well, I do have 7 hours of therapy a day, but I can't cut that.
Erin Meany, a self-described introvert, waited in her car in the parking lot, reluctant to go in until a friend arrived. Then she saw other people walk in holding books. Quote, I'm like, okay, I can do this. These are my people. Sampson, the organizer, rang a bell and the tables fell silent as people opened their books. Shh, we're reading. Signs were posted on each table.
Christ.
Some people clicked on small book reading lights. Breweries sometimes aren't the most well-lit place. Others put in earbuds as adjoining bar areas filled up with non-readers. Background music.
Fuck off. Well, why do this at a brewery?
I don't know.
These people, I bet they would love a public library where you're supposed to be silent and read. Why ruin other people? Why tell other people that are trying to get drunk?
With the pandemic, we've all been looking for a community in so many places.
That's not a community if you're sitting around in silence reading.
Some customers did double takes as they walked into the brewery full of people who looked like they were studying for a test.
Yeah.
Jay Williams had come to get something to eat before trivia night, scheduled to start after the silent reading. Quote, as long as they clear out by like 7, they could do what they want, he said.
Sure.
So.
Well, as long as Jay doesn't have a problem with it.
That's a weird way to end the story.
They can do what they want.
Yeah.
As long as they're done by 7.
They do seem to
as long as they're done silently reading.
Isn't that a lot of attitude for a group of people that are silently reading?
Yeah.
Also, it just sounds like they sound like a community that's like the plot of a really bad Wes Anderson film.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right.
Dude, like we have like a rebel book club.
Yeah,
it's like rebellious yet so milquetoast. That's the Wes Anderson recipe.
Yeah, but what are they? They're not rebelling against anything except talking to other people.
Well, Trent, they don't want to play by the old rules. They don't want to play by the old
rules.
Yeah,
of forming a community and talking about a book that you're all reading.
These people have no correspondence. It's a community where no one talks.
They're all doing their own thing.
They do your own thing. You come here. You don't even have to come here. Don't come here.
You don't even have to.
You know what? It's off.
Stay home and read in silence.
And then after they're done reading, they drive to the old ladies' houses in the old versions of book club, and they shoot them in the fucking head. That's what they do. That's what the thing is.
Well, as long as they're done by 7, they can do whatever they want.
As long as they're done by 7.
Well, speaking of old things and old ladies and rebels and wacky things.
Wow. Go on.
This is from the Wall Street Journal. This is from the mansion section of the Wall Street Journal, which is only in there sometimes.
What the fuck?
This is from the
only the Wall Street Journal would have a mansion section.
And the headline is
what an arrogant. Just look at this. Look at how arrogant that is. Mansion. It says the mansion. Oh, darling, flip to the mansion. Flip to the mansion section. There's an article I wanted to show you, darling. In the mansion
It's all
section.
about real estate and things of that nature.
I would say so.
Headline, is it haunted? That's between the owner and the ghosts.
Okay.
No matter how many ghouls and spooks roam the halls of a house for sale, there are almost no legal obligations to disclose that fact to potential buyers.
Wow.
Unless they specifically ask.
That's crazy.
Now, do you believe in ghosts, Joe?
Oddly enough, Trent, I'm not a superstitious guy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even think I believe in God, and yet it's still... I kind of get freaked out by ghosts sometimes.
Really?
Well, I lived in a spooky place one time. Talked about it on Tim and Micah's podcast. Friends of the show, welcome anytime.
Yes, friends of the show. The Great Hang podcast. I was also a guest.
Yeah.
Friends of the show, welcome anytime. Well, maybe you'll relate to this then, Joe.
I have not been personally haunted, but I've been adjacent to people who have been haunted.
Wow. Well, when Julia Parker Tracy, 60, and her husband Patrick Tracy, 63, bought a 5-bedroom home in Grass Valley, California in 2020 for $280,000 from Penny Hughes, who was about 70 years old, she didn't disclose on any paperwork that the house was haunted. But Julia says she told them that it was haunted informally and jokingly said things like, "Of course it's haunted. It's an old house."
I mean, I think she did her job.
Yes.
What do you mean you're supposed to write it? Would it matter if she didn't write down it's haunted? It's not a real thing necessarily. It's not a real thing you can file. Haunted. Legally haunted.
Then Hughes died on the day she was moving out of the home.
It's not haunted yet.
Isn't that wild? You buy a house and then the owner dropped dead immediately.
Sounds
the
like
day,
a fucking
the move-in day.
spectacular house.
As soon as Julia, a novelist, and Patrick, a human resources consultant, moved in, she says coins started showing up. Quote, "We found pennies everywhere in the most random places." She said shiny pennies turned up for several years.
Jesus Christ.
Where she had already scoured. It
looks like a haunted house.
It was like she came back every night and seeded the ground with pennies.
That's not that bad.
She says it was weird. She didn't want to leave, and by God, she didn't.
Okay.
She's referring to the owner, Penny.
Oh, got
the
it.
old owner,
Got it.
Penny.
Oh, her name's Penny.
Her name was Penny. And no, that didn't sound bad at all.
Yeah.
You roll those up, you're
But it's like Penny,
you're in
we
the
get
money.
it.
You're in the
We get
money.
it.
Yeah.
Right.
Penny's daughter, Darlene Wiggins, a semi-retired landlord, confirms that Hughes was reluctant to move out and had a heart attack while riding the moving truck to leave.
So she didn't want to leave. That's why she's still there.
She did not want to leave, and she dropped dead on move-out day. She really did not want to leave.
She didn't want to go. That's why she's still there. She stayed.
Yeah, she wanted to leave this mortal coil. But anyway,
mortal coil of pennies.
Yeah, she loved that house. It was her home, says Wiggins. She says her mother's nickname was Lucky Penny, and thinks the dispersing of pennies for the Tracys is something Hughes would do. She was pretty playful and fun and full of mischief. I think she could be doing something like that, Wiggins says.
Fun and playful? Oh, giving people a mental illness, a new mental illness. If I woke up and saw fucking pennies everywhere for 3 years and the lady before me was named Lucky Penny, there's a 50% chance I hang myself.
You think so? I think I would like that.
No, I'd be at peace probably, but it would be because you'd have to. But all it would take was like that would just be enough to like set me kind of on edge.
Yeah.
And then all I would have to do is like think I saw her face in the mirror one time to like behind me to like fucking. You know what I mean? At what point does your mind take over and start playing games?
If you saw her.
So get this, Trent. If I might digress.
Be my guest.
I was just home recently. I went to see my aunt and uncle, Shawnee, Kansas. Mary and John, friends of the show. Welcome to time. And they were telling me about my childhood neighbor, this old guy named Jake, who would sit out and he had this brick house and he would sit outside and just watch the cars go by all day. Had a trucker hat. He's an old guy. Kind of weird. He was actually electrocuted twice. Fun fact. One time struck by lightning. Crazy.
Wow.
Anyway, he died when I was a kid, like in 2005. And the people that moved in there after, they've been there for like 10 years or longer. My aunt was telling me, well, you know, the people who moved into old Jake's house, well, they've been haunted by Jake for quite some time.
Oh, wow.
And I go, what?
Yeah.
Old Jake's hunting people?
Yeah.
And they go, yeah, he's been turning the radio on and stuff like that.
Oh, wow.
The faucets and the radio keeps coming on because he used to listen to his old radio.
Yeah.
The radio's coming on at odd hours of the day and the faucets and everything.
Yeah.
Fucking and the lady did like a fucking seance and asked him and said, Jake, please, respectfully, leave me alone.
Right.
Please go away.
Not drop dead. You've already dropped dead.
You've already dropped dead, but so she had to
move along.
She had to ask Jake to get out of there. I think it's not always malignant, but I think these people are so stuck in their homes that they can't. They're still there.
Yeah, they don't want to leave. They live there all their life.
Yeah.
The good thing is, Joe, we will never have to worry about that because we'll never be able to afford a house.
Yeah, imagine haunting an apartment you rented. That's so sad. Millennials are just going to haunt apartments that they rent. I was the tenant from 2019 to 2021.
Yeah, you lived there for 2 years. Yeah, that would suck. But not a lot of states have rules about disclosing hauntings and sales, housing sales. There's only 4 that really have anything. Massachusetts, New Jersey, and Minnesota.
Has to.
Well, yeah.
You've got to.
Yeah. A supposed haunting is explicitly listed in disclosure rules as a non-material fact that does not need to be disclosed to potential buyers. In all states, neither seller nor agent can misrepresent the home's history if they are asked. This lady, she's a realtor. She says she was asked, would she live in a haunted house? Quote, if there's blood running down the walls, probably not. But if it's like some weird flickering lights, I don't know, having a little guardian ghost might not be bad.
How do you feel about it? Would you want a little guardian ghost?
I think it'd be kind of cool if you got along with it.
You'd have to be on the same page.
You'd have to be on the same page.
You'd hate to do anything to grind its gears.
Yeah, you have to be respectful to
the But they hold all the chips, right?
Kind of.
Because then one day the ghost could just be like, you know what, I'm going to start fucking shaking up this guy's life.
Yeah.
When you get bored as a ghost, I feel like if I was a ghost in a place forever, and I was just stuck as a ghost in a house like for literally centuries, even if I'm nice for the first 200 years of ghosting, eventually, just to shake things up, I'm going to be like, let's see if I can drive this new guy to suicide. Let me see. I'm just going to fucking bang pots and pans and show up in the mirror and rattle them and throw things just to shake it up.
Yeah, but you might get bored, sure. But
here, tell me this. How long do you think ghosts ghost before they have to, before they release? They're released.
Depends on all the sins they've committed in their life.
You think it's like a Christmas Carol type thing, like
yeah.
What's his name? Like his old business partner, Scrooge's old
Marley.
Marley.
Yeah,
like he's got to carry his chains around as a ghost for a while.
Oh yeah,
that sinful son
and
of a bitch.
then you turn into the beautiful Christmas present or future.
Yeah,
whichever one.
Oh, she was gorgeous.
Yeah,
she was really nice.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Write in. Tell us if you think the lady from the Christmas Carol, the ghost that takes him on the. She was really.
She was great.
So is that story mostly just about that one house, Penny and everybody?
There's a few others. There's one I wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
Stephanie Tousley was considering purchasing a 4-bedroom home with her husband. Her sister was concerned that the house might be haunted because of its age. It was built in 1913.
Yeah, that's haunted.
The seller didn't disclose any paranormal activity, but while walking around the neighborhood, Tousley and her sister ran into a neighbor doing yard work in front of his new home, just 2 houses away. While chatting with him and learning that he had previously owned the home in question, the sister asked him, "Is it haunted?" His answer, "Not anymore."
Not anymore.
He outlined the many encounters and an exorcism.
They did an exorcism?
Yeah.
Yo.
For the first few years of owning the house, nothing untoward occurred. But in 2018, when Tousley was coming home from a trip, she had a scary incident. All of a sudden, I felt totally attacked, like my soul was going to be eaten by entities.
Whoa.
She ran out of the house screaming. After a week in a hotel, she was able to return when a friend told her how to use crystals to banish the bad spirits. Quote, "I know it sounds really insane.
Everybody's got
happened.
one of those friends."
The family lived in the house for 3 more years, selling in 2021 to move to Turkey.
Yeah, I would get out of the country too.
She says it didn't even occur to her to disclose to the buyers, who paid $295,000, what had happened because the issue had been resolved. Still, she left the crystals for them sitting on a windowsill at the 4 cardinal directions. So this lady, she thought entities were going to eat her alive. And she goes, "Nope, no need to mention that."
Well, we actually have 4 crystals on the windowsill.
So it's really
just make sure those don't move.
Yeah, do not touch those.
Should a breeze blow them in any other direction than the 4 cardinal directions, then
the house will be set ablaze.
Yeah, so the 4 demons, I believe Nero, Zingaro, Lucifer, and a few others will try to eat your soul. So.
Yeah, but there's really no need to mention that.
Yeah, I mean, the crystals are there. So, okay, we got like a minute and a half here. My good friend Hunter, friend of the show, welcome anytime, just bought a house earlier this year in Kansas City. It's an old mansion from like the 1880s, and there's only 2 families that lived there before. Really? And there are only 2 complaints wherever the water took a long time to get hot and the hauntings. No particular order. But I've been there a few times, and I've stayed over, and it was fine. But it looks like a haunted house. You could shoot a horror movie there for sure.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
I believe in ghosts. I think they're out there.
Well, I'll tell you what. I ain't afraid of no ghost.
Okay. I'm just afraid of Taylor Swift. That's what I'm afraid of. All right. Well, we're pretty much at time.
Well, that's it for this episode of the Echo Chamber podcast.
Thank you for watching.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, rate, review.
Check out Trent's stuff. Check out my stuff.
Yep.
And thanks, guys.
As always, we'll see you next week.
We'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.